Okay. Alrighty, guys. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Oh my gosh, Saturday, August 25th. I can't believe this month is. We have 6 days left of our month, and I'm really excited that all of the activity you guys have been doing. It's really phenomenal to see all the different posts that you guys are doing, the lives that you're doing, stepping up to the challenges. Completely proud of you guys for doing that. And you know, this book. This book. I'm sad it's ending. I just got an email that there's another one called the Travelers Summit, so we may need to look at that one as another one to read. So I think it's the next version, next thing to this one. So that's kind of exciting. The last two chapters I just absolutely loved. But first I want to, we'll go into the book, but I wanted to share about the Facebook Lives. The people who have done them, I actually went onto your pages today. So Patricia was the first one. She had 169 views as of this morning and 42 comments. And I give you, I don't see her on here, but I give her props because she commented on every single thing, and that's how you get into the feed. So she had 42 comments. And then Kathy, you had 116 views and then 14 comments because I don't think you went back and commented with what they said to you. So go back and comment what they said, because then that'll generate more interest. And then Sarah, holy moly, Sarah, 234 views, and you had 62 comments. Absolutely incredible. I know you said you got a new customer that's ordering Tuesday. Oh my gosh. And I know it was your first live, so your friends are like, oh my gosh, look at Sarah. Oh my gosh, she's on Facebook. What the heck is she doing? So, huge props. And then Robin, you just did one last night, and you had 135 views with 36 comments. So I'm super proud of you guys just stepping out of that comfort zone, doing it. It's not something you have to do every day, but it's something that I encourage you to do at least once a week. And it doesn't need to necessarily only have to be about Nerium. Go live when you're, out looking at something with your family, or go live when, whatever you want to do, just do something like that so you generate interest on your Facebook. But congratulations to you guys. Everybody else who has not done it, because Solange has to get her hair done, I just encourage you to go and do it. I would do it right here, right now in bed, but I'm not going to do that right now because I'm with you guys, but I could. But just do it. Don't overthink it. Just do it. I'm telling you, it creates a lot of interest. And the ones who did do it, I am going to ask you guys to share at the end. So first, let's start talking about this. Oh my gosh. All right. So who wants to start sharing with the chapter 8? Because chapter 9 just blew my mind. But chapter 8, I took a lot of notes too. But chapter 8, I know my sister, this is her favorite president. I don't know where I was in history. I didn't know he was Republican. I don't know where I was in history. But Lori, do you have anything to share? Because I know that Abraham Lincoln is your favorite man in the world.
Well, that's funny because I didn't know he was Republican either. And the reason why I say that is because it makes sense now why he had so much riff with the Proclamation of Emancipation, because he wanted, ending slavery as a Republican must have been, my goodness, you guys, that's an innovative thinker and back in the day. But with Abraham Lincoln, he died young, but he came with a lot of wisdom, and he seeked a lot of wisdom. And I think that what I got from it was that he just pauses. He just would pause. He would just be reflective. He would just be more thoughtful before he took action. And that's always a huge benefit for us and what we're doing to listen to our customers, is to pause and to hear what it is that they're talking about, because then we can fit in the need, because we have the answers probably to mostly everything regarding our lives and our function and our future and our financial shortfalls. Our business really will address all of those. And so I think I took the whole thing of his wisdom and being way ahead of the game, and we can be that in our business.
Thank you. Anybody else want to share about this chapter? I'm going to start calling people out. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to call you out. I'll share a couple things, and then if you want to, unmute. Some of the things that I highlighted, and I actually did highlight a lot. Power in the hands of a good person is like a cool drink of water on a hot summer day. It refreshes everyone with whom it comes in contact. I don't know why that stood out to me. But let's see, some of the quotes. As children, we were afraid of the dark. Now as adults, we're afraid of the light. We're afraid to step out. We're afraid to become more. But how can we lead others to a destination we have not reached? Seek the light. It'll be worth the journey. And I think we forget those things. I mean, we do. I mean, we always talk about how children are not afraid of anything. When you become a person whom others want to be around, you'll become a person of influence. And we're shared. People tell us that all the time. But the biggest thing with what was this sixth decision of success was to greet the day with a forgiving spirit. I mean, you greet your day with a forgiving spirit every single day, and things will come to you. If you're determined to win, you'll have to surround yourself with winners. Don't be discouraged by the people you might choose for your team who talk big but produce little. Grant is my 10th try. I just keep putting them in the boat to see who wants to paddle as hard as I do. What do we talk about all the time? Who's in our boat? Right here. Look who's on here. This is our boat right here. I'm not worried about the other 150 people on my team that are not here on the boat. I'm not concerned with that. I'm concerned with the 20 that are in the boat, or however many are on here. And so I love that. He just kept going and he kept going and he kept going until he put Grant. And then you just never know what brand partner you're going to have. You just don't know if you're going to get a Carmen, a Lori, a Kathy, a Solange, a Siobhan, a Terry, a Sharon, a Renee. You don't know who you're going to get in your business, but you just got to keep going. You got to keep trying. You got to keep trying, because you're going to get that person who's going to be in that boat with you. And it's just, that was huge. So secret of forgiveness, it costs nothing, but it's worth millions. It's available to everyone and used by few. If you harness the power of forgiveness, you will be revered, sought after, and wealthy. And not coincidentally, you will also be forgiven by others. I'm going to tell you, forgiveness for me is very hard. If you know me well, forgiveness is very hard. So this touched my heart of like, okay, Monique, stop it. It is hard for me. You wrong me and I'm done. I'm out. And I that's just me. And I forgive, but I just don't talk to you ever again. So it's terrible. But at least I'm honest with it. And when I was reading this, I'm like, okay, all right, okay, I'll be a better person. So anyways, it was just, and I have more, but anybody else want to share? Because the last I want to end. Go ahead, Kathy. I see you raising your hand. Hold on. Got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This spoke to me a lot because I have a situation in my life that somebody did something really, really bad to me personally, to my family. And and working on forgiveness has been something I've struggled with, because I don't feel like the person deserves forgiveness. However, they say, and like this says, the forgiveness is actually for you. And so that's why these chapters really spoke to me, because that's something that's so prevalent in my day-to-day, is letting go and forgiving. And I don't know that necessarily how you said that you had to have the people in your life. I don't believe that that's necessarily true. I think that you can forgive somebody, but you don't need to have them in your life because they might not be good people. Anyway, yeah. So, and in business as well, I think that, there've been people who've hurt me, who've made poor choices, and I need to forgive and let go on that as well.
I agree. I'm right there. But you're right. You don't have to have them in your life because they're probably not good people sometimes. But yes, and I believe that too. If we just forgive in here, if we forgive in our heart, we'll be at peace with that.
Yeah.
Ivana, thank you, Kathy.
So I just wanted to say something because what it caught my attention was secret of forgiveness. And it is secret because that's what happened to me. What happens when you don't have that forgiveness, all those thoughts and all those people, that's all you're going to think about. They're going to be like a big, huge cloud. So you will not be able to focus on your business. You will not be able to focus on your family, nothing. And all that will perish because those are your dreams, because of not forgiving those people and always thinking about them, how horrible they are, how they make you miserable constantly. That will cloud your focus. And that's what happened to me for years. So that secret of forgiveness, actually, when I moved that cloud away, remove the people, remove the thoughts of them, even when I can't completely remove them, I still don't take it, I still don't get angry. That cloud is away, and then you can focus on your business, on your family, and on yourself. So yeah, it's really powerful.
Awesome. Yeah, and I agree, and I want to touch on what you said, because so in Nerium, a few years ago, we had a wave of people that left, and I let that stop me from focusing and doing my business, and my business declined. This new wave of what happened a few months ago, I didn't let that do that this time. I just kind of kept going more stronger than I've ever been. And it was like that lid was lifted, because I realized, like, what, I don't need to give them energy. I'm over here now. I'm not letting that happen again. And so you're right. And it was a huge shift for me this time, because I saw the change. It was huge. Anybody else? Thank you, Ivana. Forgiving ourselves first, the most powerful force. Yes, it is. Next, anybody? All right. Let me go. Let me just, I have a couple.
I did want to say this. When I read that part about forgiveness, we have to forgive ourselves that we care too much about what others think of us. We have to forgive ourselves, because if we think about what others think of us, we're never going to have greatness in our lives, ever. And I don't mean to get emotional, but I think a big part of when I have a driving force in my mind, and when I'm really determined to do something in my business, I'm grateful for the moments that I was bullied as a kid. I'm grateful that I have forgiven them, because they made me stronger, and that situation made me either sink or swim, faith or fear. And instead of the negative, I grew stronger as a person. And I'm very grateful today, as I stand as an almost 55-year-old woman, that all of those things had to happen for me to emerge and to be who I am today. And so forgiving ourselves, you guys, is so important. And we do not need to talk to those people anymore, as long as we have a faithful, a peaceful, forgiving heart. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Lori. You're going to be 55, man. You're old. Just kidding. Just thought I'd lighten it up a little. My older sister. She always tries to say she's my younger sister. Oh, Kathy.
Time out on the old thing. 55 is old. Remember, I'm old enough to be your mom. Remember?
Oh yeah, I know. I know, right? I don't feel like.
Hey, nobody's old here.
No, that's right.
We're all beautiful.
Yep.
Hey, you guys! I just got my Medicare card. Okay.
I think Solange is trying to talk. Hold on, Solange. We can't hear you.
Can't?
There you are. Yep.
Only as old as we feel. And
That's true.
I'm gonna be the wonderful, amazing age of 59 in October. And my heart is there, but my mind says BS.
I gotcha. Yes. I was just giving my sister a hard time about her age. I know we're all young. She's my sister. I can do that. I'm going to read the last part of this that I didn't realize how much I was reading it last night, by the way, because I didn't get to it. I want you to just hear these couple things. I release the demons of the past about which I can do nothing, and I create in myself a new heart, a new beginning. By the act of forgiving, I am no longer consumed by unproductive thoughts, just like Ivana said. I give up my bitterness. I am content in my soul and effective again with my fellow man. Those who are critical, oh, this was a good one. I even started. Those who are critical of my goals and dreams simply do not understand the higher purpose to which I have been called. Therefore, their scorn does not affect my attitude or action. I forgive their lack of vision and I forge ahead. I know now know that criticism is part of the price paid for leaping past mediocrity. Oh, that was just so powerful. And then, I'm sorry, I got to read this last thing. The last page on this, you guys have to read it over and over. And I'm going to read it because I know, I mean, I'm not quoting, but I need to read this because this was huge. For many years, this is David. This is the end of that chapter. For many years, my greatest enemy has been myself. Every mistake, every miscalculation, every stumble I made has been replayed again and again in my mind. Every broken promise, every day wasted, every goal not reached has compounded the disgust I feel for the lack of achievement in my life. My dismay has developed a paralyzing grip. When I disappoint myself, I respond with inaction and become more disappointed. I realize today that it is impossible to fight an enemy living in my head. By forgiving myself, I erase the doubts, fears, and frustration that have kept my past in the present. From this day forward, my history will cease to control my destiny. I have forgiven myself. My life has just begun. I will forgive even those who do not ask for forgiveness. I will forgive those who criticize me unjustly. I will forgive myself. I will greet this day with a forgiving spirit. That was so powerful because I know all of us have some pieces of that. I know I do. And I mean, we think about what we didn't do. We think about what we could have done. We think about the past of how somebody treated us or how somebody acted. We keep that, like you said, Ivana, it clouds our judgment, clouds our focus. And we got to let go. We got to release. We got to live in that moment. Like Jeff says, we only have this moment. Live this moment. Forget about what has gone before. And some of you who are really close to me that we go out and have margaritas or we have wine or you have Jack and Coke or, you know, whatever. You guys know that I get mad sometimes. Like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's past. I don't want to hear it. I don't hear it. It's a past. And I do that. And that's just me, but it's true. I don't want to hear it. My sister's saying what she knows. I don't want to hear about it. It's past. Let's live today. I don't want to hear what mom did yesterday. I already know. I don't want to know. So we have to really try. I mean, this is going to be huge just to me to lift our lids. All of us, like really, really big. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Chapter 9. Who wants to share about Archangel Gabriel? Really? He came in and I'm like, are you kidding me? Oh, okay. Who wants to share? I'm going to call people out. Solange, did you read it? Hold on. I am unmuting you. You're muted.
Yes, I read it. Like,
Do you want to share?
I think like 3 times. I think, well, what resonated with me is when he was talking about too much of his life was spent doubting his beliefs. And then he starts believing the doubt. And then you just kind of like shut down. I don't know. It was pretty powerful. And it made me really think about when I was growing up with my dad. Little things that he would say something and I always doubted. Your past I already know what you're going to do. And I had to get over it. You know, I turned 16 and thought, you know, life is too short. I got stuff to do. So for me, it was heart-wrenching because a lot of that was on my brain. But I don't know.
It's okay. I understand. Yeah. No, I gotcha. Thank you.
I'll be crying, and I'm really ugly when I cry. I'll do that forever and ever. So I try not to cry in public. I'll cry if it's just a couple of us, but there's too many of us on the phone, and you guys will be talking about it for the next 5 years. Like, do you remember when Solange cried on that focus call? She's so ugly. So we're not going there.
Okay.
So no more.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Yeah, you know me. I definitely have to share with you guys on chapter 9. I was actually working out when I was listening to that, and I was visualizing all of the warehouse and the inventory and the stacks of items and everything that was there. And but as I was closing out the end of my workout, they were talking about that they went to the number 7 decision and that I will persist without exception. Wow, you know, I always come from a physical place. I think of workout. I think of athleticism when I think about goals, when I think about discipline, when I think about what I want to accomplish in my life or what I vision in my life or what I see. And, you know, each decision will be a part of your being. Each decision we make second by second is a part of our being. But I will persist without exception. The power of choice. I compare myself to my potential, and I'm going to speak because I'm going to speak to all the women on this line because we all will relate to this. The last couple of weeks, I felt a little extra weight on me, and I'm like, well, I'm not eating more. Why am I getting fatter? And then I thought, I'm going to embrace my age. Maybe it's the aging process, even though I'm outputting a ton. And I thought, I'm going to compare myself to my potential. I'm going to graciously embrace this and move forward. Exhaustion is a precursor to victory, you guys. And many days, you could ask my sister Monique, I don't stop. I go. I push myself until I collapse with a lot of stuff. And this was just another confirmation that persistence without exception will get us to where we want to go. And each person's persistence is a different level. That's your level of persistence. That's not my level. My level isn't yours. And we just need to embrace our uniqueness of that. But don't lose that. And lastly, faith versus fear. I'm going to do a Facebook Live on that today. Because I've always walked in faith of seeing, of something I believe in not seeing. And that's really hard for a lot of people. They have to touch it. It has to be tangible. They have to know, no, this is real. No, this is a real business opportunity. Or else I'm not going to do it. And then they forget about the hard work. They forget about the hard work, think it's magic. We don't talk about it as magic. So faith, when we have faith, we're unstoppable. When we have faith like the size of a mustard seed, it can move a mountain. And visualize that. So I got a ton out of that. And faith versus fear. I'm unstoppable. Even if tomorrow was my last day on this planet, I continue to walk in faith and believe in what I see in my life as my future and what my destiny is. So it was just super powerful for me.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you. Anybody else? Kathy?
I struggle with fear a lot, to be honest. However, I know that my persistence in life has gotten me as far as I am. So I need to lean more on the faith and acknowledge the fact that I am persistent and give myself credit for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that, like with both of what you said, one of the things I highlighted, it says, a man of fear lives always on the edge of insanity. Mm-hmm. A man of faith lives in perpetual reward. And that was that, and it's exactly what you guys were just talking about. Thank you. I'm going to share a couple of my highlights because that's what I do. Circumstances are rulers of the weak, but they are weapons of the wise. How many times do we live in our circumstances? It's terrible. We're always about the circumstances. And look, all of our leaders talk about, don't live in circumstances. It's a circumstance. When he talked about that room, and he was like, when he showed him the picture of his kids that he didn't fight for. How many things do we have in our life that we wanted to do, that we didn't fight for? And how many people do you know that have so much they didn't fight for? And when he talked about the contents of the warehouse was filled with the dreams and the goals of the less courageous. I don't want my dreams and my goals in that warehouse. And you have friends and family, you don't want their goals and dreams in a warehouse. What could have been, because I didn't do it today. I was like, oh my gosh, and we don't think like that. And a lot of our friends don't think like that. And Lori, I think your Facebook Live of Faith and Fear is great. I mean, I have always lived in faith of what I can do. I just do it. I mean, that's what brought me to Nerium. I had no clue what I was going to do. I didn't wash my face. I didn't think skincare was going to be what I could do. I was like, oh, let's just see. I'm going to go in faith. Let's see what happens. And look at the blessing it's turned out to be. And we have to help our friends and our family just kind of understand that. The game of life, nothing is less important than this. Oh, I love this. Sorry. Gabriel smiled at David on the floor, and he said, you must know that in the game of life, nothing is less important than the score at halftime. The tragedy of life is not the man that loses, but that he almost wins. How much do we feel defeated? Halftime. And we give up. We give up at halftime. Look at these football players and what happens at halftime when they're, well, look at Danny, our team, 44-0. I guarantee they came out second half saying, oh, I can't do this. Forget it. I can't do this. 44-0. We're done. But there are teams out there who will come in the game on fire because they're not going to lose to 44-0. You know, and they're going to keep going. But it's a mental game. It's a head game. As a human, you detour and ease off because you lack understanding. And it's because you quit because you lack faith. Easing off does not make the going easier. How many times in our business, when it gets too hard and overwhelming, we ease off thinking that it's going to get easier? The family, the kids, the parents, the left side, the right side, the people, and your work, and then jobs, and then business, and then this, and then that. But we ease off because we think it's going to be easier. It's not going to get easier. And then when he started talking about the civilization that disappeared, I mean, we don't think about that anymore, about the people who built the temples with nothing. Tons, hundreds of tons, and they still built it. And today, people have to spend months to figure out how they're going to move a rock because they have to be so analytical. But back then, they just knew what they were going to do, and they just kept doing it. They didn't care. Arrogance, ungratefulness, and a loss of faith is where we're living in now. And there's a mirror of regret, eternity examining a reflection of the person they could have become. Yours is a future as you choose it. You have free will. And then the end is like, I will persist without exception. You all have the power of choice. I will hold fast to my dreams. I stay the course. I do not quit. I will persist without exception. I compare myself to my potential. I am not average. I see exhaustion, like Lori said, as a precursor to victory. I will persist without exception. I focus on the results. I continue the process with my eyes on the outcome. He knows that by guiding his ship directly to a specific point, the time spent in discomfort will lessen. I mean, I know all of your situations. I know family. I know Ivana's going through, busy with her stuff with her family. I know Danny has her kids and they take a lot, and then she has work, and then she has, this other job, and she has family, and she just wants to sleep. I know, I get that. Solange has all these little babies running around. My sister has this job that is in an office building, and she hates when she sees my post and I'm outside. And she's there in this terrible room. And I don't know about the people who she surrounds herself there. They're probably negative. I just came back from my friend's house. I love my friend dearly. But they watch CNN and Fox News from 6:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. when they go to bed, all day long. I had to take her out of that. I'm like, let's go. Let's get out of here. I know about the immigration. I know I know about Trump. I know everything right now. I don't want to hear anymore. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. But I know everybody's situations, and what you have to recognize from that last chapter is no matter what your circumstance is, no matter what you're going through, no matter what is happening, you need to focus on what the positive and what you can do for your dreams and your goals for your family, and don't use them as excuses. Don't use what's surrounding you as excuses. Just do with this business. I'm telling you, we know this is going to help you and your family and your friends, and it's going to make a huge difference in the financial part, in the happiness part, in the whatever part of life, making people feel better, look better, all of that. But I'm telling you, that last chapter to me was like, this is why Nerium was brought to us. I mean, this guy is Bo Short's best friend. He's Bo Short's best friend. And we have these people at the helm of our business that are just making it so amazing for us. And every day I'm just like, gosh, this is a blessing. I can't let this go. I have to talk to more people. I have to do this. So I'm sorry I got on a rant. It just couldn't help myself. So anybody else want to add to anything? That was just, it came from me. So sorry. Anybody else want to add anything? Or nothing? Anybody? You guys are going to let me finish? No, anybody to that?
Well,
Kathy?
I just want to say that I really appreciate you for doing this for us. You know, I would read my 10 pages a day and go along my way, and this is really, really helping me focus, and I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. You know, and I'm going to give the props are to Linda Lindsay. So when I did my coaching call with her, she suggested, pick a book, read it together. It's going to be impactful for your team. And I said, okay, never thought about that. That's great. So Linda Lindsay gets a huge shout out for that, because that was her. That was all her. Anybody? Ivana, go ahead. And then Michelle. Ivana, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to share real quick about the magazine share that I had, because it was something that I had no idea that's going to happen, and neither of us, you know, would know something like that. So my coworker sits at the desk next to me. Starts talking, yeah, you know, getting out of the military. I said, yeah, it's a good choice. That, you know, he doesn't sleep because they keep thinking about it. Well, you know, I carried the magazine and the shoes in my bag. So I said a little bit later, I said, hey, you know, I have something. I'm going to mark this portion of the magazine where the shoes are for you. And here you can, you know, try it, and I would love you to think. He's like, oh, I appreciate this. This is really great. So I'm thinking, you know, in a few days, I'm going to follow up with him just to make sure I get my magazine back. The next day he comes back. The first thing he does, he takes the magazine out. He said, you know what? This is like something really cool you have going on. I'm like, really? He said, yeah, and then I've come to find out he used to do network marketing for some different company before. And then he got into this job, so it was a little bit too much for him. He wasn't able to keep up. But he said, I wish I kept up with it. And I said, you know, you can still go back. You're still going to need an income. So that was the conversation. And he apologized. He spilled coffee on the magazine. Anyways, so I wanted to share this because I would never think that it's going to be the answer, that's going to come back based on me sharing what I did. So.
Awesome. Good job, Ivana. Very, very cool. You just don't know what's going to come out of it. Just don't know. All right, Michelle, go ahead.
Here we go. I'm unmuted. Oh, just thank you again for getting me in the group and reading the book. When I first started with Miriam, my workout partner, we were going to the meeting, and I said, yeah. I said, I'm following the 6 commandments. She looked at me like I had 2 heads. Apparently there's 10. But it was very frustrating for her because she had like 2 customers and I had 30. So, but this is just bringing it all to full whatever. So it's been really good for me because I'm not a reader, but I'm enjoying this very much, and it really makes me think. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm very quiet here, which isn't what I normally am, but I'm quiet here. I'm just listening.
You're welcome. And I think that's huge for us because I mean, there's a lot of people who aren't readers, and this is just that's it. And because Nerium wants us to grow personally and become the best versions of ourselves, I think that is like that's the point that's what we have to look at. Like, I'm with a company who actually wants me to become a better version and wants me to read and wants me to grow. And they'd be okay if we didn't do Nerium as long as we were growing as people, and we're spreading that around the world so that we don't have to watch the CNN and the Fox News and the negative all the time, and we can grow as people and really and do that ripple effect out there in the world. And it starts with us. So, yeah, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so now we're good with the book. So I want a couple people to share about their live, how they felt, what it wasn't so bad. And right now we only have Robin and Kathy and Sarah. So anybody want to share about their live and how they did it and what happened and anything? Robin.
I will.
Okay.
Okay, me being me, I was like, oh, it's getting late. I want to do it with my sunglasses on. So I put them on. I was at a friend's house doing costuming, and she jumped in the shower. So I put them on, went outside, and I grabbed a couple of shoes off her table that I sampled to her. And I have never been able to do anything scripted, no matter what's written down. I'm not going to say it. I'll give you the gist of it. So I just had at it, and I didn't even think to say what they were and where they were from. I just wanted to tell people it changed my life. So that's all. It was way easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, we've been trying to encourage Robin to do lives on the products for a while now. So I'm proud that you did it. I'm glad that you were able to just do it. So, and I always wear my sunglasses in the beginning of my lives because that's my shield. That's my thing. It's my shield because it was scary. I get it. Sarah, did you want to share?
Yeah, I'll share. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So I thought about it literally all day long. I was like, and I knew I was going to talk about the shoes, but I didn't know how to do it. And I was like, oh, goodness gracious. And then we're packing to move and to get our house ready to sell. And my husband was putting the baby down for bed. And I was like, okay, Sarah, I know you need to pack. Just do this. Like, you've been thinking about it all day. Just do this. And I was like, I don't know what I look like on camera. So I'm totally overthinking all these things. I do a practice run on my camera without the live or Facebook. And I'm like, okay, that wasn't bad. Camera needs to go up further. We can handle that. And then I come back and I do the live, and I present all the time. And so what I told myself was, Sarah, you're just doing a presentation. This is just a room of people, which for me, I'm like, no big deal, right? Like, you got this. I was sweating by the time I was done. There was something so nerve-wracking about that, but I was so proud of myself for doing it. And I was so proud of myself for stepping outside of my box and saying, I'm just going to take that leap. And you know what? Once you're up there, you're up there. You got to finish. You got to get through it. And I did. And I was very proud of myself. And I have gotten multiple people who are interested, one person interested in the business, a couple of people who have messaged me about the shoes themselves, and a lot of people who have just said, I love that you're still doing this. And I told my husband, I said, they say it all the time, but it's true. People are watching. Mm-hmm. People are watching. And whether they say something or not, they're watching. So keep doing it, because you will start to hear from people out of the woodwork.
Yep. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you for the challenge, Monique.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I agree. I mean, that's why I've been encouraging guys to do these things, because you don't realize, you just don't realize. And I can tell you, like, I'll post something and nobody says anything, and then I post Rosie sleeping upside down and I get 100 people talking about it. And it's like, okay, you see me. So I get it. Solange, you unmuted. You want to say something?
This is Pat.
Hi, Pat. Oh, you are there.
Yeah, you can't see me. I've been listening. I did not complete the book, but I still wanted to listen and to be a part of. Okay. I did take the challenge, and I did it first thing in the morning after I put some clothes on. But like I said, I only had on my eyebrows and my mascara and my lipstick. I said, I'm going to do this now. If I think about it all day, I won't get it done. And so that's why I did it early. And I did get a lot of comments, some feedback. I've reacquainted with one person, and she says, "Oh, I'm going to send you the $4.95 so that you can send this to me." And I said, "That's not necessary, but that's what she wanted to do." So she asked me for my address, and I gave it to her. And then one of the ladies said, well, we're going to be traveling. So she says she's looking forward to our coming and getting together, and then we'll be able to talk, And she said, be sure to bring your samples. So I'm going to do that. And it's amazing. I had, I think, like 145 views. At first it was like 123, and then the next day it went up to 145, and people are giving thumbs up and everything. So I'm hoping to get more mileage out of this, but it's facing the fear. It's not that big a deal. You make mistakes. I make mistakes, but you just go on. And I think people, when they see that you're real and that you are making mistakes and you don't sound like a recording, or that that you are reading a script, that they take to that. So I will probably be doing another one as soon as we get on the road.
Awesome, Pat.
Okay.
And a couple things I want to just suggest to you guys after you do your lives and what you do after is go back to that feed, go back to your live, write down the people who are not in Nerium that liked your post, who gave a thumbs up, who gave a smiley, whatever. Anybody that commented, write their name down. Then you go back to them and you send them a message and you say, thank you for watching my video. I appreciate you watching my live. That's it. Don't tell them what you do. Just thank them for being a part of it. Then they'll ask you more questions, but just thank them. They're going to think you're sending them a message to share the products with them, but just thank them for watching. Thanks for the thumbs up. I was really nervous, or whatever you want to say to them. Be you, but do that. Go through that. And something that Pat said. So Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V, he's all about social media. And when I started listening to him, he said, you know what happens is that we sit in this spot where we want to be perfect on Facebook Live, or we want to be perfect on YouTube, or we want to be perfect. And then guess what? The next thing is out. The next thing comes out and you don't even get your chance at the YouTube or the Facebook because you waited too long. But what people like to see is your journey. They like to see your journey of where you started to where you are today. So just mess up a lot. Just do it and mess up. Just do it, just do it, just do it, and they'll see your journey. If I go back and look at my first Facebook Live, I bet you I look like a fool because I was like sunglasses, didn't want to talk. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I hate my voice. I can't hear myself. And now I'm like, forget it. I'm going to just keep doing it. And I've had people say, wow, Monique, you've really grown, or wow, Monique, I've seen this happen. So just mess up along the way is perfect. Solange, I know you unmuted, so go ahead. You want to go?
I did, because what I was going to say is that, like, I've been thinking, like, a little overthinking the Facebook Live thing, but last week or the week before, I had a couple people message me from Facebook saying that they've been watching me for the last year and they see that I'm into this business. How come I don't do anything live? Because people want to see me. And then one particular friend, he does network marketing, but he does a lot of videos for Facebook Live and YouTubing. And he said, Solange, I'll be happy to come and sit with you. You need to keep it at 1 minute to 2 minutes because people are busy. And then Erin, what did she think? I was trying to figure out what products I wanted to talk on and everything. And she said, Mom, you got to keep it at 1 minute to 2 minutes. And then because I'm with the kids all day, I need to include the kids because people will really watch because I'm here with the kids and it's stuff that I do with them every day and make it more natural. And it's true because I always tell Claire, she's 2 years old, she'll be 3 in October. I always tell her, does my skin feel like your skin? What do you think? And she, she says, you're so beautiful. And if I put on a little lipstick, because all I wear is mostly a little eyeliner and lip gloss or lipstick, she says, I love your lips. Oh, they're so beautiful. So Erin said I should be doing stuff like that when we do it. So I've been trying to like figure it out, but I am going to incorporate the daycare with whatever I'm going to do.
That's good. And yes, and absolutely, you want to incorporate your life. You want to incorporate who you are. I mean, I'm telling you, I did social media all wrong when I first started. I did it all wrong. It was 99.9% Nerium when I first started 6 years ago. 99.9% Nerium. And I scared people away because anytime I would send them a message, they'd be like, what do you want me to buy? What's your game? And it's not what I was trying to do. I was just trying to say hi. And they always were on the defensive mode. I've learned along the way that you have to be more yourself and then you add your business. And so that's why I post about my dogs. I post about the flowers. I post about the clouds. I post about wineries. I post about the things that make me happy. And then I insert Nerium or I insert motivational posts or I do little pieces. So when I do contact people now, they're like, hey, Monique, how are you? Yeah, let's go to lunch. And the first thing in their head isn't Monique wants to sell me something, where it was 6 years ago. So be very cautious of that. But always, this is the future. Facebook, YouTube, social media, they're just going to keep getting better at doing this. And this is where our business will grow faster than some people who aren't doing it. And I'm telling you, because I've seen this whole social media evolve in the past 6 years to where I remember, I don't know, 15 years ago, I was like anti-Facebook, but your business needs this. As much as it's scary, your business needs this. Any of your businesses, any of it needs this. It needs social media, and people are afraid of it. Believe me, they are. But those people that watch your video, they're not necessarily just your friends. So when you start liking it and your friends comment, it goes into their feed, and then their friends watch it, and then their friends, and then their friends. And that's how you're going to get more exposures, because it's not just your circle of people. It's your circle. And that's what social media does. And you don't recognize that. And that's why when you do a live, you have to tell us, so we immediately get on. We like it, we comment. We like it, you comment, we comment, because then it goes into your friends' feeds. So we have to help be supportive of each other. As soon as you see one of us go live, do bunches of hearts, bunches of likes, make some comments, do something, because it pushes it up in that algorithm. And you'll see, if you look today, Sarah from the other day, she's in like the top of my feed because she has so many likes and so many comments. So just remember that that's what happens. So it's this game that you play with the computer, but it works. And so we have to help each other out with that. Don't give too much information. We have a brand partner that I saw did something, not you guys, but I saw and I was like, ooh, and I sent a message saying, look, don't give the information. Don't go in the comments and say, this is how much it is. Here's my website. Here, da, 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 da. No, you have to say, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. Thank you. Appreciate you watching. Thank you. And that's like what Robin did. She went back and said, oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you what it is. You like how I said y'all? Because that's what you probably said in your text, Robin. You said y'all. I knew it. So you go back and you say in a private message what it is. You want a price. Okay. Don't do it in the feed. And you guys may know this, but I'm just telling you just in case somebody doesn't know it. Don't do it in the feed. Do it separate on the sideline, because you want them to keep piquing interest. You want them to still, get a little bit more. But I'm proud of all the activity that you guys have done. Anybody else want to share before we go? I know this was a long one, but go ahead, Carmen. You need me to unmute here? I'll do it. There you go.
Oh, thank you. I've been distracted feeding my family, but I'm listening.
Okay.
So this week I haven't been doing much activity. And after reading the chapter we read this week, it's like I need to not be so hard on myself and kind of forgive myself. So the before me would be, well, screw it, you already messed up. You haven't called anybody. You haven't done anything. And of course, life happens. I had situations in my family that I just couldn't do stuff. So I'm just going to get on the wagon again and start the week fresh and not beat myself over it, which I would do before. And that's all I wanted to share.
Good job, Carmen. Awesome. Awesome. And I said something to somebody the other day because they said, oh, I just don't have time. Or I go, you know what? You go to the bathroom every day, right? Take your phone in the bathroom, send a video. You go to the bathroom, go to social media, post something. I'm not telling you to sit down for an hour and do your business. Take the phone to the bathroom. That's all you got to do. It's really easy. Just clean it off after. Sharon, you're unmuted. Did you want to say something?
Yes, I did. I wanted to say that after I read chapter 9 or section 9, it really, really hit and resonated with me. And when it's talked about faith, I always thought I had faith. I thought I had plenty of faith and, I'm a person of faith. However, I realized that my fear energy was much bigger than my faith energy. And I needed to shift that energy to the other side and quit doubting myself, because when I'm, I have the faith, but I doubt. Whereas with the fear, it's all in fear. So I just need to shift all of that and just say, you know what, just go with the faith and forget the fear, let that get out. And once I did that and I went out of my comfort zone and I reached out to somebody who was on my scare list of people to reach out to about Miriam, afterwards I'm like, oh my God, that was so easy, because she responded and said, hey, yeah, let me take a look at it. So I think we do that in everything in our life. I do that in my real estate business, and I'm just shifting all of that, and I'm just going to go totally faith and just know that when I feel the fear, to realize it, accept it, and then move on and go the other direction.
Awesome. And I liked your post of the book and the wine, and that was great. And people commented, and Sharon a couple months ago was like, nope, I don't do social media. Nope, I'm not doing it. Nope, not doing it. Not happening. Don't even ask me. I'm not doing it. And she's sitting there with her glass of wine and the pool with her book. I was like, good job, Sharon. Yay. You don't understand how happy those things make me, because I know those little things about you. I know those other little things that go on behind the scenes.
Thank you. Thank you. It's fun.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Anybody else before we wrap this up, and we'll take a picture?
Yeah, I'd like to say something about the Facebook Live.
Perfect.
I don't like the way my voice sounds. It is very nerve-wracking for me. However, I think that I need to, like you were saying, do Facebook Lives about other things and just become more familiar with it and more comfortable with it. And I do believe that there are people watching. Maybe they're not commenting, but they're watching. So yeah, I need to start doing it more often.
Well, your voice is great. I hate my voice. I hate listening to myself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah,
I can't stand it. Like I'll do a video and I will not go back and watch it because I don't like hearing myself. So I'm right there with you. But just do it. You have a great voice.
Okay, thanks.
So I have to chime in. I'm sorry, I have to chime in because you know, Sarah Huggins, she killed the Facebook Live, and I want to call her out because she's an example of somebody who said, I had to practice. I didn't like my voice. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. And we underestimate our power and our influence and who we are, you guys. And those of you that say you don't like your voice, I challenge you to tell yourself today, I love my voice, because my voice is what I want to resonate out there for change. When you take it in that perspective, Kathy, you're going to love your voice, because your voice is going to change lives. It doesn't matter what it sounds like, because to their ears, it sounds beautiful. Monique, your voice is like my voice.
I know.
Exactly. I love my voice. I've been told my voice is powerful. So I love my voice. And I pace it on purpose to sound like a storyteller, to make it fun. So, hey, you guys, I love the camera. So I might be the wrong person telling you this, but listen, embrace your weaknesses to be your strengths. It saddens me when somebody says, I don't like this about me, I don't like that about me, because I used to be that too. And now I've come in full circle. And when that ugly fear comes my way, I push it out and say faith, because Jesus wants me to love me. So remember that when you have that bad day of not liking yourself, and say, no, I love myself. And look in the mirror when we hang up, and go to the mirror and say, I love every aspect of me. I'm unique in my own self. I challenge all of you to do that. You're probably going to break out in tears when you do it. And then go forward.
Okay. That's a scary thing for me, by the way. I don't like looking at myself and saying that. But I'll do it. Oh, I'll do it. I'm going to do it. Okay, Pat, I heard you say, Pat, that you couldn't get your video. So it's the bottom left. It should say start video so we can see you. There you are. How cute is she? Look at her. Okay, anybody else want to share before we finish up? Hi, Wyatt. Hi, baby Wyatt. Look at, there's the baby Wyatt. Oh, yes, Carmen. Here, I'll unmute you. Go ahead.
Something really quick. So I got my hair cut this Tuesday, and one of my friends that I haven't seen in over like 3 years, she goes, oh, I started talking to her about hair. He goes, you're doing really good. I see your post. So yes, everybody is watching.
Yes, they do. And that's why I make sure I post every time you guys are on a top 10 or you're anything and whatever. They don't need to know it's in a top 10 of our little group. We're good. they can think it's for the millions. You're in the top 10 of the millions. So, but it's important. That's why I do the recognition for each and every one of you all the time. I got to do this week's top 10. And I apologize, the top 10 list sometimes takes a while to go up because I have a lot of things going on and it's getting busier. So, all right. Anybody else want to share before we take our group picture? Anybody? Oh, Michelle, I got you. Wait, you're muted still. Sorry. There you are.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay, just very quickly, we talk about our chicken list, which we all have. I accidentally sent a message to our financial advisor, a young Asian man. I didn't mean to, but the message basically said, got skin, aging. And he sent a thing back to me. He says, yes, my wife and I do, and we are. Can we get together?
Nice.
I said, sure.
It was a happy accident.
Yeah, a happy accident. So anyway,
awesome.
Which is funny. Yeah.
That's funny. Awesome. And you know what? That's a good point, Michelle, because I did that. I did that before where they told us just send a before and after picture to somebody on your chicken list and say, here you go. And then they respond going, I didn't ask for that. Oh, I'm so sorry. I meant to send it to somebody else. Whoops. So go through your list and send accidental pictures to people. I mean, why not, right? And then they'll say, oh, what is that? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. It wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. I'm sorry. You never know. Never know what you get. All right, we're going to take our picture. Let me get this. Hold on. Okay, let's see. So that I can smile too. Okay, everybody's on there. Everybody smile, smile. Carmen, come over here. Siobhan, I can't see you. There you are. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me check it. All righty, that looks great. Looks beautiful. All right, guys. So we'll finish the book. So now we just finish it. We just read the end of it, 10 and 11, and then there's a reader's guide, which I guess we probably could have used that in our book club. I guess I'm not one of those that goes to the end because there's questions about each decision. So I would say go through those questions on your own and kind of write what you guys got out of the chapters, because I didn't even know that until today, that there's questions back there, and then we could have probably been using those this whole time. So we'll finish this and then get your legacy book, the one I showed you about the legacy. That book, Paul J. Meyer, is incredible. We're gonna love that. It's not a storyline like this, but you guys will love it. So thanks for getting on. Hi, Renee, I see you now. Happy Saturday to everybody, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm proud of you guys for doing this each and every day, and you guys are just incredible. So I'm so blessed to be on this journey with all of you. Thank you. Talk to you guys soon.